Today is a very auspicious day. We heard some days back how Supreme Lord Jagannath externally, on the pretext of going to make excursion to another temple, from main temple to Gundicha temple, in order to rescue all fallen souls. By giving them darshan, all can see him and all can offer food to him, whoever. So to rescue them. But internal reason, we heard, it is because Krishna is feeling separation, grief from Vrindavan and Brajavasis. So from Kurukshetra or Dwaraka, that opulent mood, he wants to go to Vrindavan. Pulled by all the Brajavasis, especially Gopis, Radharani. So he went there, and then we heard how after some days Lakshmi became angry on him. Why he's not coming back? He said he will come next day. And they arrested the servants of Jagannath, and they promised, yes, we will bring Jagannath next day, but they did not bring next day. So today, on today's day, Jagannath is going from Gundicha temple back to main temple. Again, by pulling. But our Gurudev said that for Gauriya Vaishnavas, means those who are following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna in the mood of Radharani, they are not very enthusiastic about this. Because Krishna is going from Vrindavan back to that opulent realm. Gauriya Vaishnavas or Brajavasi, they are very eager to bring Krishna to Vrindavan. Not there. So Gauriya Vaishnavas are not very enthusiastic, but we have to do anyway because it is service of him. On our platform, we are on a regulated platform, so we have to do this service. So this is today, it is called Punar Rathayatra, means again Rathayatra means going back. So I am praying for the grace of Baladev, Subhadra, Jagannath and Sudarshan Chakra. They are, means in Puri, already they reached by now to that main temple. I am praying for their grace. And also today is the disappearance day of Srimati Krishnamoyi, Devi. She appeared in Nagpur. And her family then, with father and all, they moved to Navadvip, means birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were living there, and she was very spiritually inclined, and she was married, and she got one daughter, but then soon her husband died. So later on she adopted one son also. And in Navadvip there is Ganga, so every day she used to go and take bath in Ganga and worship Ganga. But when she came to know, one most prominent disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, his name is Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. He was at first, after disappearance of Prabhupada, doing bhajan in seclusion. Then later, by the request of God brothers and also by the inspiration of Nityananda Prabhu, that you have to start mission also. So he started, and it was very small, one hut where Sridhar Maharaj used to worship Govardhan and also speak Harikatha, Bhagavatam, other Harikatha. So, although this Krishnamoyi, every day she used to go that fixed route. But when she came to know about this Harikatha, then she would change that route so that she could also attend that Harikatha of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And she became fully inspired by him and devoted, and then she took Harinam, initiation, means initiation into Mahamantra. And later on, when her daughter got married and that son also, adopted son, got big enough to earn his own livelihood, then she had much property because before her husband was having good job. So then she offered all that property to the mat, means temple of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, some agricultural land and some buildings and like this. Everything she offered, and she became like a renounced lady, and she started to live in the mat. Generally, this is not common in India for ladies to stay in mat, but some rare, if they are in such position, renounced, they may stay separately in ashram. So she was staying, and soon she became very means fully engaged in all different services in the mat. She was doing garlands for deities, cooking, and all other services, cleaning everything, taking care, and for ladies also, those who were coming, everything. So she became fully engaged, and whenever Srila Sridhar Maharaj would go out for some preaching or our mat in Calcutta like this, then she would manage all temple there. And in this way she was fully dedicated and got all the realization. So then Srila Sridhar Maharaj declared that she is a pure devotee. And she was also preaching there in that area from where she was before in Tegiapara. There were many yogis, tantrics, and other of Tamagun like this, but she made all Vaishnavas. And Sridhar Maharaj told this is not possible for someone who is not a realized soul. And she also offered some monetary donation for the printing of Bhagavad Gita from their mat. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj approved, means appreciated. And then later on, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, when she became old, then he gave her this service. He said, your service is only you stay here in the temple and bless whoever will come. That is your service. When she became old, I could not do so much. And also he gave her permission to give initiations herself. So our Parangurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj, also approved her. Yes, she is on that level of devotion. She can accept disciples, she can give initiations. And he explained her name, Krishnamoyi. This is also one name of Radharani. So in this way, she was doing bhajan. Then after the disappearance of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, some of her followers and some god brothers, they made her own mat near there. And there was her mission and installed deities, everything. And as I'm always telling, in 2002, when I was in Mayapur, Navadip, that time I first time heard about her because one lady, devotee, she was staying in our mat, she was considering from whom to take initiation. Either from our Gurudev, from her, Krishnamoyi Devi, or another one disciple of Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Kumar Chanta Goswami Maharaj, is senior most. So ultimately she took from him. He was most senior that time. At that time I heard about her. Unfortunately, I could not meet her at that time. Then soon after that, she already left this world on today's day. So she's a pure devotee. So I am remembering her photo and praying for her. causeless mercy. On the appearance and disappearance of Vaishnavas, we have to hear about them, speak about their glories, remember them, and pray for their grace, and know about their teaching, and also follow the teaching. Then it will be proper observance. And today also is, I can also read her pranam mantra, that is when you bow down to her. Devi Krishnamoyi Siddha Sadhika Para Bhaktida Sarva Bhakti Mai Sarva Puja Puja Parayana Shri Guru Sneha Patri Cha Paramartha Prasadika Atma Nivedika Chaiva Guru Krishna Padambuje. Deeply blessed with the divine qualities, Shri Krishnamoyi Devi has become an ideal example of a self-fulfilled saint, devotee who is considered to be an embodiment of pure devotion to the Supreme Lord. Befitting to her benevolent nature, she also inspires and blesses others with the same sacred devotion to the Divine Lord. As a result of her dedicated service to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Radhika Krishna, she received her Gurudeva's heartfelt appreciation, a priceless goal of life. That is goal of life. If Gurudev will appreciate your service, that is highest achievement. So she is glorious. During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Janava Mata, she was also Guru, and later on some Vaishnavi Gurus are there. Those who are qualified, realized souls, they can do this service. And today also is the disappearance day of one, their disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. Today I saw that from our mat they translated the one article written by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj in 1991. So I also never read this before, only some excerpt about his disappearance. So I will read because it is also first time for me. Pujopat Tridandi Swami Shri Srimad Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj performed his manifestation pastimes in a Brahminical family in Bajitpur village, Faridpur district, East Bengal. That was Bangladesh. Now it is Bangladesh, that time India, East Bengal. His revered father's name was Sri Yukta Upendranath Sanyal, and mother's name was Sri Yukta Parvati Devi. Srila Maharaja's name during his household life, means when staying in family life, was Sri Nripendranath Sanyal. His family was given the title Majumdar during the Nawabi regime. Affluent landlords were respectfully given such titles in those days. Maharaj had acquired a higher level of education and had a strong command over the English language. After completing his education, he moved to Kolkata and spent some time working with Amrit Bazar Patrika in their editorial department. This was a very famous magazine that time, means topmost. It was during this time that he got the opportunity to visit Gauriya Math, located at Bagh Bazar. And here I read in Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj's book, you heard, he came there as a reporter because there were some dioramas, exhibitions about the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he came to make a report of that, and he was impressed about, means with the explanation of those things. And when they saw how inspired he is and eager to know, they also took him to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, and he heard from him also Harikatha, and he was fully won over. Then he used to daily go there out of his job for Harikatha, Then ultimately he fully surrendered. Yes. And to embrace the fortune of having darshan, means vision, and listening to Krishna Katha from the lotus mouth of most revered Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. Because this article is written by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, so his Gurudev is Bhakti Siddhanta. In a very short while, he received Harinam and Mantra Diksha from Srila Prabhupada and was given the name Narottam Das Brahmachari. Immediately after that, he renounced his worldly life and started staying in the mat, means monastery, temple. He was a lifelong celibate. Most revered Srila Prabhupada noted Sri Narottam Prabhu's sincere inclination toward serving Sri Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas, especially his particular attachment for hearing and speaking Krishna Katha. For this reason, Srila Prabhupada sent him, along with many veteran Tridandi sannyasis, to preach all over India the doctrines of pure devotion as issued from the lotus mouth of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Here, when it is said Srila Prabhupada, it means Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. So Srila Prabhupada, on hearing from others, as well as personally witnessing Sri Narottam Prabhu speaking Harikatha in the assemblies of distinguished intellectuals, observing his indomitable enthusiasm and expertise in fulfilling numerous responsibilities, like establishing mats and temples, and seeing his eagerness to render all types of services with a peaceful mind and a sweet smile on his face, conferred upon him profuse affectionate blessings by awarding, on behalf of Sri Navadip Dham Pracharini Sabha, the devotionally significant title Bhakti Kamal, which means the lotus of devotion. So the point was, he was doing all the services, not being disturbed and angry and no. He was very peaceful and with a smile on his face. Means he was a real devotee, doing for the satisfaction of Krishna, happy in that. So Prabhupada, he gave him this title, Bhakti Kamal, lotus of devotion. On the last of December in 1936, at dawn, when Srila Prabhupada decided to close his manifest pastimes, means he disappeared from this world, that is, for pure devotees, it is not due to karma. It is by their will and the will of Krishna. He wants to take them back. So that is why it is written, decided to close his manifest pastimes. Black clouds descended on the Gauriya sky, means this Gauriya Vaishnavism. During that time, due to grave separation grief from Srila Prabhupada, all his intimate disciples were performing devotional services while staying at various different places. Pujapat Narottam Prabhu during that time was staying in Bardhaman city at Mitapukur Lane. Being attracted by Srila Narottam Prabhu's strong Harikatha, a wealthy and religious person arranged to construct a beautiful temple there. Pujapat Maharaj, Pujapat means worshipable, and Param Pujapat means supremely worshipable. Pujapat Maharaj kept the name of the temple as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mat. Later, a similar mat was established at Ishodhyan, Sridham Mayapur, in which a very beautiful and high dome temple and a beautiful gate was made that was decorated with exquisite carvings. This mat was also named as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mat. Later, there was a beautiful Shiva temple established on the left side of the main temple. The services related to installation of all mats and deities was spearheaded by Pujapad Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj, senior god brother of Srila Maharaj. If you go from our mat in Mayapur on the left side towards Ganga, then first will be Srila Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Gosai Maharaj's mat, and next will be Srila Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj. I went there many times. I particularly like, as I tell every time, you will enter, and on when you enter, on left side will be his Samadhi Mandir. On the right side, there will be his deities, Guru Gauranga, Radha Krishna, and left to that temple there is Shiva temple, Shiva Linga, because Shiva is the best Vaishnava. So, but if you go then behind that Shiva, there is like a garden-like, and there you will find Krishna Lila and Ram Lila and Gaur Lila with very small these figures depicted, very small, very sweet, and you are going around, and then there are different Leelas shown there by small figures. I should not say dolls or statues or like this, so, but small forms. So that is very sweet because they are so small, but very nicely arranged. You have to go around, and many are there. So the temple is very nice. Srila Maharaj also established another mat at a place named Raipur, which is located at the south side of Kolkata. Although the mat in Mayapur was established later, considering the gravity of it being located at Sridham Mayapur, this mat was made as primary mat, and the other two mats were considered as its branches. During the manifestation pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, means when he was living in this world, while staying at Bagbazar Gauriya Mat, Srila Maharaj was deeply attracted to Pujapad Ridandi Sami Srimad Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Gosai Maharaj due to his esteemed devotional practices and his ability to encapsulate the divine teachings of Srila Prabhupada. So this is the same Sridhar Maharaj, whose female disciple is this Krishnamoyi Devi, which we heard just before. Sridhar Maharaj is most prominent disciple of Prabhupada, and he could grasp what Prabhupada was saying. Sometimes, if Prabhupada was giving some Harikatha and others, they would not be able to understand everything because it was so high. Then they would request Sridhar Maharaj, and he would then explain to them, and in simple language, what Prabhupada wanted to say. So this Maharaj liked Sridhar Maharaj, as did all God brothers. After the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Maharaj accepted the highest renounced order of life, sannyas, from Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Gosai Maharaj at Sri Saraswat Gauriya Mat, Kolarganj, Navadip, and was given the name Tridandi Bhikshu, means Tridandi beggar, those who have 3 sticks, Srimad Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj. Under the divine guidance of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he preached the divine message of Srila Prabhupada at different places in India. Pujyapat Srimad Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Gosai Maharaj, Pujyapat Srimad Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Gosai Maharaj, Pujyapat Nam Bhajananandi Srila Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, Pujyapat Srimad Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj, and other prominent intimate disciples of Srila Prabhupada used to experience great delight upon hearing Pujyapat Madhusudan Maharaj speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. You will find in Srila Bharati Gosai Maharaj's book that when they started preaching in Mumbai during the time of Prabhupada, then Prabhupada requested, although at that time he was quite young and new to the mat, but was very qualified, Narottam Brahmachari. So Prabhupada asked him, will you be able to stay here in Mumbai and take care of the temple and preaching and everything? And he said, if you order me, then I will do. I know that this will be beneficial for me. It is good for a disciple to be close to Guru, but it is more important to follow Guru's order. So when we serve the instruction according to instruction of Guru, then we are actually getting connection with Guru through service, through following his instructions. So he understood this point. He said, yes, I will stay here. Although he was quite new, but following order of Guru is point. So Prabhupada, out of affection, he later sent him one full set of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he wrote there inside for Narottam. And this Maharaj then understood that it is Prabhupada's desire that he should absorb himself fully in Srimad Bhagavatam and follow the teaching. So that is why he became so expert. And all these senior, his god brothers, and disciples of Prabhupada, they were very happy to hear him speak on Bhagavatam. At Sri Chaitanya Gauriya Mat in Calcutta, this means our mat, during festivals like Sri Krishna Janmashtami, means appearance day of Krishna, that is annual festival of our mother, and the appearance anniversary of the mat's deities, that is in January. Two annual festivals are there, big festivals in our Calcutta mat, so these two. So by the grace of Gurudev, I could be on both. That January festival, 5-day, there is big Nagar Sankirtan, and once also for Janmashtami. Somehow, by the grace of Gurudev, it was possible. 5 days. So there are different Maharajas, they will speak Harikatha, but this was before. So on these annual festivals, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj, means our Parangurudev, used to invite Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. Srila Maharaj used to be the cause of pleasure and bliss for the present revered Tridandi Sannyasis and all Vaishnavas by delivering elaborate, comprehensive discourse on the doctrines of pure devotion. Maharaj was bestowed with all the divine qualities of a Vaishnava. Krishna's devotee possesses all the divine qualities that are present in Sri Krishna himself. While Srila Maharaj was performing the pastime of illness, that is also not due to karma. It is by Krishna's will to give us opportunity of service or for some other purpose. This also I had to realize one time. When I saw some pure devotee, he was sick, because I knew him from before when he was healthy. Then I saw he was externally looking very sick. So I complained to Krishna, why this is. Why this is happening to me? I complained. But then later Krishna made me understand that it is my wrong vision. When I was in that mood, then I went to that Maharaj's room and I fully bowed down to him. While I was bowing down to him, I myself lost all suffering, physical and mental, even that which I was not aware of before, that type of mental suffering. It was totally gone, and I felt bliss from within my real self by bowing down to that Maharaj. And while still lying on the ground in offering obeisance to him, then Krishna made me understand, now you think, Madhavendra. You are bowing down to this Maharaj, whom you are thinking he is suffering. You are bowing down to him and you are losing all suffering. How then you can think he is suffering? He is not suffering. This is pastime of illness. You don't know. They are not feeling any pain or any suffering. They are fully engrossed in serving me in their real self. They are not, that is only pastime. Already I heard before from Gurudev, particularly for this Maharaj, maybe a few years back, he said, you should be careful, he's playing the pastime of being sick now. At that time it was less, but I could not understand what Gurudev means, pastime of being sick. So, but then I had to understand. So while Srila Maharaj was performing the pastime of illness at his mat at Bardhaman, where his dear disciples were engaged in serving him in their best ability, that is the point. They become sick so that they give the opportunity of service. By providing him the best medical facilities available and expert doctors, just a few days before Sri Jagannath Rathayatra, he expressed his utmost desire to be taken to his mat at Sridham Mayapur, which is non-different from Vrindavan. In view of Maharaja's earnest desire, his sevaks, means servants, brought him to Mayapur by motor vehicle. At Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mat, located at the south side in Sridham Mayapur, near Sri Saraswati and Ganga River, and in Radha Bon, that is Ishodhyan, means Isha is controller or supreme lord, Isha is Radharani, so that Ishodhyan means garden of Radharani, and here it is mentioned Radha Bon means the forest of Radharani. Under the divine lotus feet of his beloved lordship Sri Sri Guru Gauranga, Sri Radha Govinda, and Sri Radha Govinda's beloved associate Sri Gopeshwar Mahadev, that is Shiva, Maharaj was situated in a very blissful state until he closed his manifest pastimes. Means he disappeared from this world, entered into eternal pastimes of Radha Krishna in Goloka. On 7th July 1991, just a couple of days prior to his Puri Dham Yatra, Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj met Srila Maharaj. This is always when writing articles, like our Gurudev also, when writing biography of Parang Gurudev, he said that young Kamakya Charan met him, means his own name, their expression, and later on he said, then after that, after joining the mat and after this Kamakya Charan became Srila Bhakti, means he became Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj. So in this way they are writing, not in first person. So Puri Goswami Maharaj met Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, took his darshan and offered obeisances. At that time, while the words coming out of his mouth were not externally clear, he was looking blissful and contented from within. It seemed like he was totally engrossed in the thoughts of his life and soul, means his lordship, means Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. In 3rd Shravan, 1398, that is Bengali calendar, which is 13 July 1991, our calculation, Saturday, on Shukla Dashami Tithi, means on today's lunar day, at 3:30 p.m., Srila Maharaj performed his disappearance pastime at Sri Krishna Chaitanya Math, Sridham Mayapur, Ishodhyan. Amidst all the devotees performing Mahasankirtan, big congregational chanting of holy names, in separation grief, while remembering the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gaurango, Radha Govinda Dev, and his beloved associate Vaishnava Raj, Sri Gopeshwar Sadashiva, Srila Maharaj entered into the midday pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Govinda Dev. Today, we are deprived of the earthly pastimes of a Vaishnava who is bestowed with all transcendental qualities. We are deeply missing his divine presence. On 20th July, just a day before return, that is Punar Rathayatra, means today, when Srila Puri Maharaj arrived at Sri Chaitanya Gauriya Math Kolkata, on that very day, he got the news about Srila Maharaj's disappearance through a trunk call. I don't know what is trunk call. Though entering into the eternal service while being in the Sankirtan pastime place of Sri Gaura Sundar, that is Navadip, the combined manifestation of Sri Radha Madhava, who appeared adorning the mood and complexion of Sri Radha, is blissful in the absolute plane. The fact that we will be deprived of his darshan is truly intolerable. Those who have relation, they will feel separation grief. So Puri Goswami Maharaj was feeling that. During the disappearance pastime of his beloved Srila Haridas Thakur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of extreme separation grief, with tear-filled eyes, spoke as follows. Haridas achilo prithivir shiromani. Taha bina ratna shunya hoilo medini. Kripa kori Krishna more diya chila sanga. Swatantra Krishner icha koila sanga bhanga. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is Bengali. Mahaprabhu said, Haridas Thakur was the crown jewel on the head of this earth. Without him, this world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. Being merciful upon me, Krishna gave me his association. Being independent in his desires, he has now taken away his association. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked his beloved associate Ramananda Rai, Prabhu kohe dukho made kon dukho hoy Guru Tara. Means, here the translation is not given. It means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of all unhappinesses, which unhappiness is the highest, means which is the most what is the most unhappy or what is the greatest pain also? Dukkha, pain. Then he means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the heart of Ramananda Rai and answered, Rai kohe Krishna bhakta biroho bina dukkha nahi dekhi par. Again, translation is not given here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means Rai Ramananda said, I don't see any other pain as it is the pain of separation, grief from Krishna Bhakta. That is, means most painful. But we should not misunderstand this. This type of pain is another type of transcendental ecstasy. Like separation, grief from Krishna, Krishna is transcendental. And in separation from him, you are getting union with him much more. He's all bliss. So this type of separation is painful, but it is another type of transcendental bliss. Same is towards his devotees. They're also transcendental. So this pain has nothing to do with this worldly pain. When we are misidentified with matter and we are getting some pain of separation, that is due to selfishness. And that is very bitter. But to feel separation from Krishna due to service relationship and feel separation, grief from pure devotee of Krishna in service relationship, that is one kind of highest transcendental bliss. Those who have that, they can understand. Devotees who are truly committed to performing kirtan, that is, propagating the message and doctrines of pure devotion as expounded by Sri Sri Guru Gauranga, are very rare in this world. The absence of such devotees from the frame of our vision brings profound torment to the heart, so much so that it could never possibly be expressed through words. However, the desires of the sovereign Supreme Person, Purushottam Krishna, who controls all by his own free will, are completely independent and indisputable. He retrieves from this world those who are dear to him and gives them a place at his lotus feet, thus immersing us in an ocean of separation. He makes us remember the words Vaishnaver Gunogan Korile Jiber Tran, means singing the glories of the Vaishnavas delivers the living entities. Thus, he teaches us to follow the ideals exemplified by his devotees. This alone constitutes the waters that may console our hearts, which are burning in a fire of anguish. Pujapat Maharaj's Viraha Utsav, that is festival of separation from him, that is some days after disappearance, all devotees, they will meet and they will sing his qualities, his glories. So this Viraha Utsav was held on 13th August in the Natya Mandir, means temple room, of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Math Sridham Mahaprabhu, means in his own month. The assembly commenced at 10 a.m. Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj was the president, Sabhapati, and Srimad Bhakti Kumud Shanta Goswami Maharaj was the chief guest of the assembly. Srimad Bhakti Jivan Acharya Maharaj, who is now his successor, he is still living now, Shri Bhakti Jivanacharya Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Toshan Giri Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Balab Tirtha Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Sukhrit Akinchan Maharaj, and Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav Sagar Maharaj delivered Harikatha in the assembly. Other Tridandi Vaishnavas present in the assembly were Srimad Bhakti Sharan Trivikram Maharaj. He is a disciple of Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We could see him, one of the rare disciples who was still living at that time. He was staying in our mat. Then Srimad Bhakti Bandhav Janardhan Maharaj, he is god brother of our Gurudev. Him also you saw. Srimad Bhakti Rakak Narayan Maharaj, from Sri Chaitanya Gauriya, that is our Gurudev's god brother also. You saw him, he was in church in Mayapur, our mat. Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Acharya Maharaj, from Sri Devananda Gauriya Mat. Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Janardhan Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Damodar Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Govinda Maharaj, from Srila Shanta Maharaj's mat. Srimad Bhakti Kiran Giri Maharaj, from Sri Gauriya Sangha. Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Subhag Maharaj, from ISKCON. And Srimad Hari Sharandas Brahmachari, from Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat. They were present. Apart from the above mentioned names, many other Vaishnavas were present in the assembly. At 1 p.m. post Bhoga Arati, that is noon time Arati, all the Vaishnavas present in that assembly accepted various types of sumptuous Mahaprasad. Srimad Bhakti Jivan Acharya Maharaj, disciple of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, was elected as the new president Acharya of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mat organization with the blessings and consent of all Vaishnavas present in the assembly. So this was written in October 1991. So I visited his mat, and so I'm remembering Srila Maharaj's Samadhi Mandir there. And today also on Facebook Live, I saw one devotee was live. I saw Srila Maharaj's forum in his Samadhi. So I'm bowing down to him and praying for his causeless mercy to bestow pure devotion to Supreme Lord Shri Krishna and his devotees. Tomorrow we will hear about Shayan Ekadashi, when Supreme Lord Vishnu goes to sleep. He will go to sleep tomorrow, performing the pastime of sleeping for 4 months. Tomorrow, Chaturmasya will start according to our calculation. There are other possibilities also. And also, our Srila Bharati Gosai Maharaj, our Gurudev's god brother, prominent disciple of our Param Gurudev. His appearance day is tomorrow, so we'll hear about him.